guys, my name is Captain Jack Sparrow, and today we're gonna review Pirates of the Caribbean Admiral Gin, but first we have to do that thing that Shothy likes to do, where he puts those titles and it says reviews, movie reviews, rankings, whatever, and reactions or something. I forgot. Something that starts with an R. I don't remember, but I think you have to roll that show. I'm gonna go away for a bit, and then I'll come back. Unless Sharpie takes over, which would be kind of annoying, right? Yeah. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about At World's End. Sorry Jack, I had to take over. It's not funny, dude. Okay, but I have to review this because you're going to talk about all the positives. I need to talk about the negatives. Hey, alright, but then, you're going to pay for this. You have to pay for this, Shothy. If you don't, you're going to be in deep trouble. Okay, fine. I'll give you $100, $1 million. Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann join forces with Captain Barbossa to free Jack Sparrow from Davy Jones's locker. Meanwhile, the crew of the Flying Dutchman ghost ship wreaks havoc on the seven seas. The friends must navigate dangerous waters to confront Chinese pirate Sao Feng, and immediately they choose sides in a battle with wherein the pirate life hangs in the balance. This movie is rated PG-13 for intense sequences of action, adventure, violence, and some frightening images. And yeah, there's a lot of darkness to this movie that actually caught me off guard. The opening sequence, literally, it starts with people getting hanged by their necks, and it is brutal. There are some brutal things in this movie, which I actually liked about it. It really caught me off guard. But anyway, let's start with the story. The story I like the story because it's very simple. It's two main things that really happen. As the description sort of said, basically they have to free Captain Jack Sparrow from Davy Jones's locker. That sort of takes up the first portion of this movie. And basically the rest of this movie is trying to restore Davy Jones's heart. What I like is there's two separate portions. There's one where they free Jack Sparrow, and then the second one is all about Davy Jones and all that stuff. So it's very simple. And the execution, for the most part, was pretty good. The acting of this movie was actually, for the most part, really good, except for Elizabeth. She was just a bit more awkward in this movie than she was in the first second. She felt like she didn't like playing the role. I don't know if she actually did. She might have actually liked it, but it just didn't feel like it from the one she was acting. But everything else, like Jack Sparrow, as good as ever in this movie. He is awesome. And unfortunately, I have to give him $1 million. You say that again, you're gonna have to say $15 million. Okay, I won't say anything about you. But the acting by everyone, Orlando Bloom, he's getting very divisive now, in these Pirates movies, and I think he's still good. I guess there are some weird moments between him and Elizabeth later on in the film, but there's a big battle happening, and then they get married during the battle. And Barbossa is the person saying everything. It's just a bit awkward, but it's fine. It's just not what would normally happen in movies, but I guess that's a good thing. What Gore did here was actually pretty impressive because you have very little things to go off of in the movie, and he basically turns very small ideas and very small things into huge, grand scale epicness. And that's mostly a good thing because this movie features some incredible spectacle and some of the best I've ever seen. There's a scene where they are on the waterfall, and the waterfall is literally the edge of the earth, and then they fall down. The shot that zooms out, that was just, that scene, it was just super impressive how epic it was. So I would say like the way gore turned very small mythology, I guess it's mythology, small lore, into huge grand scale epicness was actually pretty impressive. The visuals of this movie, I would say, are actually really good because it has a lush and dark look to it that can sometimes make it a bit boring, but it reminds me of Half-Blood Prince. I love the color scheme in that. It's very divisive actually, but I actually love the color scheme because I think it's very different than normal. And same here, like it reminds me of Half-Blood Prince because a lot of the colors and in this movie they're just very they're not like completely pleasing to look at. They're just cool. They're just sort of cool. And the battle sequence, like the final battle on the ship, the colors were really used to its advantage. So that was really good. The score of this movie is, I know this is kind of unpopular, maybe a top 15, top 20 score of all time. I would say it might just be the best Pirates score and probably Hans Zimmer's best work in this franchise. But yeah, the score, I wish I could play it because it's so good, but copyright. So I guess I can't really say that much about the score, but it is incredible. This movie will definitely have some parts that will stick with you. The level of resonance is very high for some scenes. A lot of the scenes are very crazy, very incredible. Like, again, the scene where, like, the waterfall, that scene, it'll just stick in your head for a long time. But there are also other scenes that will actually resonate with you, but they are not in a good way, because there's this one scene I think you're gonna know when it happens, and it's just very it's just a bit too weird. There's just too many weird things in this movie that are gonna resonate with you, but just not in a good way. But the ending, like everything, the final scene. Every single Pirates movie ends with "Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho." Yeah. That was actually me, not Jack Sparrow. He's outside. He's over there. He opened the window. There. But yeah, he's outside. So he can't hear me. Let's go. That was just me doing an imitation of him because he's an idiot. No, just kidding. He's amazing. But in real life, he's not. Entertainment or emotion. This is where it gets a bit tricky. I've said that a lot. Entertainment or emotion. This is where it gets tricky. No, but actually, it's it has a lot of scenes that are very entertaining. The final battle is honestly astonishing. It is super incredible and very impressive that Gore was able to pull that off. And it has a couple of other entertaining scenes. But, like, the opening scene where they're going into that place, I forgot, and they meet that person, I forgot it. I think his name is Sao Feng. I think that's him, but I don't remember. But whenever they meet that guy, that was boring. But then when the big fight scene happens, that was actually very entertaining. And they have to, like, throw the knives up, and then they catch it. And there are also very crazy things that happen. Not crazy to the point where, like, it's a grand epic scale, but there's a scene where everything is so cold, and this guy has his foot, and it's frozen, and it literally chops half of it off. It is just, wow, like, the foot, literally, half of the foot breaks off, and it's just so disturbing. This movie has the most goriest, not Gore, but because Gore directed it. Oh, that actually makes sense because Gore directed it and there's a lot of gore in it. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, there are other entertaining scenes like that, but you have to get through some of these boring scenes to get to the entertaining scenes, which was a bit of a gripe, but it was fine. Before I give you guys my score, comment below what's your favorite Pirates movie, and also what's your ranking of them, if you can. And stay tuned for my review of Pirates of the Caribbean, on Stranger Tides, and Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales, and they're going to be on shorts, so, because I don't want to, take a long time to review them, because I just don't think they're good, honestly. Pirates of the Caribbean At World's End is an entertaining and fun adventure movie featuring some incredibly dark sequences that are very unexpected. There's a ton of unpredictable things in this movie, but it struggles with the pacing, and there are sometimes dull moments, but Hans Zimmer gives arguably one of the greatest scores of all time. But all in all, this is a really fun time. His score is a 74%. 74 is pretty high. It's not really high, but it's really good. It's really good. 75 gets to the 8 out of 10, which is great. 7 out of 10 is really good, unless it's like 65, which is also 70. That's like, okay, it's good. This is really good, but it's not quite great. But if I rewatch it, it might get there. Because I watched it once and I said 9 out of 10. I gave it like an 88 or something, and then I rewatched it and I was like, okay, there are way more flaws with this, but I still really enjoy it. That's it for the review.